If you're going to go somewhere like that's cheering, like you need to go somewhere where they know what they're doing. So I Googled best places to cheer in the United States of America. Navarro College pops up. I watch a video and I was like, I'm going there. Oh, let's go. It's game time. Like, this is going to be iconic. It's like during track, I'm like doing cartwheels and backflips when I should be running.
I'm shocked right now. You haven't been doing this your entire life?
No.
What?
I just like didn't have the fear of like trying anything. I was like, let's just flip our body and see how this goes.
Were you scared at all sharing about your personal life?
I just feel like I'm going to be judged. Like, I feel like it's a part of me that like I've hidden for so long, terrified of what other people were going to think. You know, flip side of it, it's like the complete opposite where I was like, I hid it forever. I didn't want anyone to know about it. And now it's like the world knows, but it's like helping others where I was like, I would have never in a million years would have thought sharing my story would have done that.
Morgan, welcome to The Squeeze.
Thank you.
I am so excited because I've watched you on my TV multiple times now. And I just feel like we would be friends. Like, I just feel like you're so sweet, but you have this like fun, silly, goofy side to you.
I do.
I enjoy watching all of your stuff that you post on social media. It makes me laugh. I'm like, oh, she's funny.
Yeah, I'm like shy in the beginning, but then like once you like break my shell open, I'm like, crazy.
She can't be stopped. I love that. Okay, so we start each episode off with this jar. It's a game called Citrus Got Real. If you want to pull a little piece of paper out of there and read us that question.
Let's see. I feel like I'm like secretive.
Yeah.
Okay. This question. Favorite vegetables?
Okay, wait, that brings me to a topic that we were definitely going to talk about because we'll get to battle camp, but I need to know, you don't eat food.
Okay, I do eat food. I'm just so picky. I eat like a toddler. Like, I literally have like basic foods that you would feed like your 1-year-old minus the vegetable portion of it. I'm like, cheese, I love. Bread, I love. Ranch, I love.
Okay.
But outside of that, like, you know, like pizza and that sort of thing, but I'm like, it has bread and it has cheese.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese, love. Mac and cheese, love. Chips, love. But it's like all the other things where it's like, oh, like coleslaw and like mashed potatoes. I'm like, no.
The potato thing blows my mind. Like, do you eat French fries?
I eat some French fries. If it's like ones where it's like cut up and it's like bigger chunks and it's like basically like just like a potato, like, but if it's like, I'd say like Chick-fil-A, love their French fries. So it's like different types of them I'll eat. I don't know. I have no idea. I like couldn't tell you. And it's not like a texture thing necessarily. It's just, I just don't like it.
What is your like least favorite food?
I would say ketchup and tomatoes. I'm like actually like terrified of ketchup. Like, won't even like touch the bottle at a restaurant. Like, if someone's like passing the ketchup, I'm like, you can get up and get it. I'm not touching it. And like, even when they put it on my tray, like they'll be like, oh, like here's your food, and it's like I get like a side of French fries, and they'll put ketchup on it, and they'll set it and bring it to me. I'm like push it away, and my husband like grabs the ketchup and like takes it. Like, it's insane.
Were you like forced to eat ketchup as a child?
No, I don't even know where it
like
came
some
from.
Like,
I actually don't know where like the whole ketchup thing came from. But it's
you
even,
like pizza?
The smell. Yes, but I like certain types of like marinara sauce. But I also, if I have marinara sauce that has like tomatoes in it, I'll sit there and pick every single tomato out before I eat it. Chili, pick every single tomato out before I eat it. It makes like literally no sense.
Do you eat any greens?
Not really. I like cucumbers.
Okay.
But
there's some health to that.
Just a little bit, yeah. I'm like, I like celery sometimes. Like, if I'm eating like hot wings, I can have celery.
Okay. But you can do you do like chicken and steak, like,
yes,
for like proteins?
Yes, love chicken, love steak.
Okay. Do you do fish?
No, I hate any type of seafood. I've tried a lot, and that's my other thing is I'll try foods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't like it. So I've had like octopus before. I've had, you know, squid, like all these different things. I really
like those, and I like fish.
In tuna. Like, I just can't with tuna. Like, my cats eat tuna because it's in like their cat food, but I'm like literally dry heaving as I'm like feeding my cats. I'm like, I just can't do it.
My husband's thing is he likes sushi, but not cooked fish, which normally people like the cooked fish before they like the raw fish.
Yeah.
But I love all of it. He has tried to get himself to like cooked fish, and he'll make me salmon all the time, which is great.
Yeah,
very kind of him. Like, he's he's the chef, so he'll make me salmon, and I'm like, it's so good. It doesn't taste, because I even know like sometimes it'll taste fishy, but it doesn't bother me. I'm like, the other night I was like, hon, like I swear to you, like, it's not fishy. Like, just try it. And he tried it and he was like, almost spit it out. He was like, no.
I just can't. I don't know. Any type of fish. But also if I know what it is, eating it makes it 15 times worse for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if we would have done the challenge on the show and I would have been blindfolded.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I fear I would have done a lot better because I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But like knowing what it was, and I was like chewing and I was like, oh, this is probably his eyeball. This is probably his stomach. Like I was like, like I like could not. It was just awful.
I was grossed out watching that. Okay. The first thing I want to touch on in this interview is your ring. Oh my God. Can you show the camera your ring? It's literally like, I actually need to like see it close up.
My favorite thing of all existence.
Did you get it like glued together?
No. So you can get it soldered. Here, I'll show you.
Glued. That soldered was the correct word. I said, I'm like, glued?
Yeah. So it's really on there, but so like my engagement ring is like inside of it. So it's like 2 different pieces.
Oh, wow.
And then you can like push it together, but most people get it soldered together.
Oh, wow.
But I can just wear just my engagement ring. Like if I don't want to wear like, because it gets caught on like literally everything.
Yeah, no.
So if I don't want to wear the whole thing, but it just like goes right inside of it.
Was that your doing, or how did the ring process happen?
Yeah. So actually Molly was in on this. So obviously I didn't know I was getting engaged. We looked at different types of rings and that sort of a thing. And I kind of like had an idea. I did not like the Marquise cut at all.
Yeah.
Until I went and tried on rings. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna be a round girl, maybe oval.
Isn't that so funny how it happens? I had the same thing, but opposite.
Set on it. I was like, there's no other way. Like you can't convince me otherwise. Like I just want to go and like see, and like I knew I wanted gold because I'm a gold girly.
Yeah.
And so we go into K Jewelers and I'm like testing like all the different like sizes and shapes and like all the things. And the lady was like, oh, you should just try like Marquise and like emerald and all this stuff. And I was like, no, like I just want oval. I just want this. And she's like, no, just like try it. Like you never know till you try. So I tried on and I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like, and I'm like looking at Stone and he's like, the look on your face, I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, I have to have it. I have to have it. And like, obviously I didn't think we'd get engaged like, you know, soon after that.
Yeah.
But he was like, okay, she likes Marquis. She likes Marquis. I likes Marquis. So then he basically kind of like designed it with K, which was insane. And took like elements because I like different parts of like wedding bands and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I loved like the halo around it. Like I was just like, I love it. I was like, and more diamonds. So like might as well.
Why not?
So we kind of just like pieced together different parts of it and just created it. And then when it came to the wedding band, I knew I wanted like, you know, a band, but like the way that my ring is shaped on the bottom is like curved. So like if I put a band on it, it would stick like right on the top. So it wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
So they had to like customize a whole thing. And like my OCD was like, I can't just have like one side of it.
Yeah.
It has to go on the other side because then it's like not symmetrical and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
So it's like basically fully customized.
It is so pretty. That was like when I was looking through your social media, that was one thing I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get a close up of this ring because it looks
obsessed with it.
unreal. How did you and your husband meet?
So we met online.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that.
And basically I ended up bringing 2 of my best friends on our first date.
Okay.
Because I'm like, you know, people are creepy. You never know. Like first dates, I've never been on one my whole entire life. So he was my first date, which is actually insane because other people that I dated in like high school and like college, I knew from being friends of friends and hung out with them multiple times and then we'd go on a date.
Yeah.
But I'd never been on a first date where I'd never met the person before.
And you like on a dating app or was it like, okay, got it.
So I was like straight panic mode. Like how do you interact with someone? Like how do you do this? Like I'm like, what do we do? What do we talk about? I'm like, I don't know. So we had been like messaging, you know, back and forth and I didn't give him like any like social media, not a lot of information about myself because at this time Cheer had already came out on social, like on the world. Like Cheer was here. And I was like, I don't, like some people had messaged me and like wanted to like, you know, start talking to me and stuff because they were fans of me on Cheer or like for the followers and like all that stuff. So I was trying to find someone that was genuine that wanted to be with me because I was me. Yeah. And so I did not give Stone any information like about like what I did or anything and kind of like basically blocked him on all social media so he couldn't like figure out like who I was. So we just were messaging and we went on our first date. I brought 2 of my best friends with me because I was like, he could be a serial killer. He could kidnap me. Like you never know. So I bring 2 of my friends. Our first date ended up being like 17, 18 hours long. We went to a restaurant. We sat and ate there. My 2 friends were there. We ended up going back to my apartment that I had in Dallas at the time and sat up on the rooftop and talked until the sun started rising. And my friends ended up leaving after a while. They're like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you're fine. You can leave. And then he's like, I have work in 30 minutes. Like, I've got to go. And I was like, wait, that's crazy. And I was like, okay, well, it was nice to meet you. And he's like, no, like, can we hang out tomorrow? And I'm like, yes. So we've been together every single day since then.
Oh my gosh.
Which is insane. And then, you know, he kind of found out who I was on social media, but it was nice for him to get to know me before that was like brought up in conversation. Cause I'm like, it's weird. It's like, how do you explain, you know, oh yeah, I was on like a Netflix show. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, it's kind of a lot.
That I could imagine that would be tricky. How long ago was that?
I want to say like 2022.
Okay. And you guys are coming up on 2 years.
2 years of marriage.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Lemon Drops, big news. Rhoback is back with a brand new drop. And this one's all about comfort, movement, and elevating athleisure. First up, say hello to the just launched Era high-rise shorts. These are your new go-to for everything active. With the sleek high-rise fit and lightweight performance fabric, they're built for workouts, weekend walks, and everything in between. Plus, they've got just the right amount of stretch and structure to keep you feeling supported and confident all day long. And if you missed them before, the Sydney Skort and Everyday Active Dress are also some new spring arrivals. The Sydney Skort blends sporty function with a flattering fit, featuring built-in shorts, functional pockets, and an easygoing silhouette that works wherever your day takes you. The Everyday Active Dress is an instant favorite. Stylish, sweat-ready, and perfect for everything from early workouts to late lunches. Breathable, moisture-wicking, and designed to move with you. Both the skirt and the dress come in a gorgeous summer blue color called Birdie Blue. It's a perfect pop of color to add to any outfit. I absolutely love wearing athleisure. I am a comfy gal, but just because you want to be comfortable in the clothes that you wear doesn't mean you have to sacrifice style. And thanks to Rhoback, I don't have to do that anymore because their athleisure is truly so cute. You can use code SQUEEZE at rhoback.com for 20% off your first order now through the end of this week. That's RHOBACK.com and use code SQUEEZE for 20% off your first order. What's your favorite part of married life?
I don't know. I just love all of it. Everyone's like, the first year is going to be hard and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's not.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. And like all this, like, you know, marital advice we'd get from people like before we got married there. I'm like, I don't know what you guys mean. Like, this is like the easiest thing ever. Like, I love living life with him. He's my best friend. Like, life is great. Married life is fantastic. I'm like, everything's good.
Yeah. I know we had a lot of people tell us that too. And it never got hard. And we have this joke where whenever we like get in an argument, we're like, oh, I guess the tough part's coming. The tough part's coming, but it's not. And it's been so fine. But I know I always say that I think it's because I feel like we went through a lot of like tough times together because I worked as a COVID nurse and like did all of that. And my husband went through a lot of mental health stuff. We kind of like, I feel like went through like the weeds together before we got married. I feel like that kind of like helped a little bit. Like we knew how to communicate. We knew how the other communicated.
Yes. And that's the other thing too, is like we basically lived together before we got married. Yeah. Which a lot of people are like, oh no, don't do that, all the things. But I was like, I was paying so much for my apartment in Dallas and so was he. Yeah. Where I'm like, we're basically like with each other every single day, 24/7. We're paying these 2 apartments. And I was like, there's no point in that. Like we could literally get a house for like pay a mortgage for less than what we're paying for these apartments. Yeah. So we ended up moving in together. And I feel like that was like the easiest transition into marriage because everyone's like, oh no, like, does he leave his toothpaste open? Does he do this? Does he close the toilet lid? Like all the things. And I feel like living with him before that made it so that there wasn't that awkward transition
for sure
into like living together.
Yeah, no, that was us too. I feel like it's important to like, I mean, I commend people that can do it successfully before because I think there is beauty in, you know, waiting to live together 100%. And there is pros that come with it. But I think for me and Taylor in our relationship, that was something that I'm very thankful for because we definitely
just like worked.
You get to see what the other person is like at home, how they live. I mean, I was young. I met when we were, how old were we? I met him when I was 20. So like crazy. We've been I didn't really like live on my own and like have an established like self independent life, but he did. And so, you know, bringing me in and having that transition, I feel like we definitely got to do together. I love asking married people this, but what was your favorite part of your wedding? Where did you get married?
So I got married in Texas.
Okay.
Yes.
The photos are so pretty.
It was at the Olana. I was like, this is like a castle, like dream venue. I was like, I love it. I I don't know. I had so many favorite parts. Like, I think like overall as like a whole, I think the best part obviously was marrying my best friend.
Yeah.
But having all of our favorite people in the same place at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Like, it was like all of our worlds were colliding. Like, he had, friends that he did sports with. I had all my cheer friends. We had like, our cousins, like second cousins, aunts, uncles, like friends, like people that were mentors to us. Like, we just had all the people that like played like a massive role in our life in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like the odds of that happening like is slim to none. Like, even like, celebrating like birthdays and that sort of a thing. It's like, you have some friends that can't make it or whatever, but every single person was there.
Yeah.
So that was like the craziest thing.
Yeah.
So I'd say that, or the cheer routine was pretty iconic.
Yes.
I feel like that was a fun moment. And then I would say our private vows before our wedding.
Okay.
That was like, I was like sobbing my eyes out before like anything, but it made me feel so much better like walking down the aisle because I like don't like attention.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know how to like do I smile at people? Do I like wave? Like, I'm like, I want to like hug people because I haven't seen you in forever, but I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So like eased my nerves before walking down the aisle. And then our private last dance was like a very, very special moment as well.
Oh, it was just you guys for your little last
Yes.
dance?
Like they like sent everyone out to like the sparklers and all that stuff. And we just like, the whole room was cleared out. Like, photographers like were there for like 30 seconds, like took one picture.
Yeah.
And it was just us.
Yeah.
And so it was like the whole like you had like all these like strobe lights going off and like there's just a mess everywhere, like, and then it's just our song playing and we're just like in the moment like, oh my gosh, like we're married, like this is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is so
it's like
sweet.
so sentimental.
I love that. Okay, I want to get into your childhood and your upbringing because I feel like looking at you, you just seem like the cutest, sweetest, like you just seem like the sweetest person. And I feel like you are genuinely that sweet, but I would never think that you've endured the life that you have with how you present yourself and how kind you are to people. But I would love if you can just share a little bit about your early childhood years with our lemon drops, our listeners, about what life was like for you.
Yes. So, I mean, growing up, like, I mean, my life wasn't awful, terrible, but I did face like a lot of challenges. But I feel like everything that I went through growing up like made me where I am today. So I wouldn't have changed anything in my past, wouldn't have done anything differently because I am who I am today because of it, which is fantastic. And it's nice to have like, like those learning lessons. Sure. I did have to grow up a lot faster than most people did, but in the same, time, it's like I'm more wiser, I'm more mature, and like I really value life differently than some other people do. And I'm like, I wouldn't change that for anything. So, I don't know. It's just like different being so young and not having like that support system. Cause those are like, I feel like the prime time in your life where it's like, you need the love, you need the support. Like,
yeah. And
that's like, I don't know, like prime like development, I'd say, for like that sort of stuff. And so I was lacking in that. But then once I got into custody with my grandparents, my whole world flipped upside down. Like, everything was positive. Everything was good. So it was like, it sucked growing up. And it was like, why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, no one loves me. Like, don't really have friends. Like, all the things. I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, what am I doing that's so bad that people don't want to be around me? They keep leaving. Like, what did I do? So I'd like hurt myself on it all the time. And like, it would even happen in like sports, like after that and like different parts of my life. Like, if a friend, like, wasn't being a true friend and like our, connection broke off, I'd be like, what did I do? Like, why am I in the wrong? Like, what did I do? Like, how can I fix this? Like, I would just harp on myself for it because of my past. So there's like parts of it that like suck still.
Yeah.
And it's also like not really having like parents. I guess you'd say everyone's like, oh, like, how's your mom and dad? I'm like, oh, my grandparents are doing good. It's always like the little things, or like, thinking of like your father walking you down the aisle one day. Like, I knew that wasn't the case, but I knew I had my grandfather to step in that place. So it was like little things that like would bug me, but it's like made me who I am today. So I'm like so grateful for the opportunity to be able to share my story and like have other people that can like relate to it. And like some people are inspired by it, but I'm like, it's just how it is. And I'm like, I don't want people to ever feel alone in any situation like that.
Yeah. Can you share with us a little bit about your parents before your grandparents stepped in? What was your relationship with them? What was their involvement in your life?
I didn't really have the best relationship. I mean, there were a lot of kids that were involved from different marriages and all the things. So I didn't really have the best relationship with them, but my grandparents like are my parents in a sense. So it's like, I still had parents and like, guardians and like people to look up to, but I didn't really have communication with them and still don't really have communication with them.
Okay. When were your grandparents always in the picture, or did
For parts,
Okay.
yeah. So they had no idea what was happening when we were younger. They weren't as involved, which was not their fault whatsoever.
Yeah.
They did live kind of far away from us, so it wasn't,
Yeah.
we see them all the time type of a thing. They still would support us and like go to like, track meets when I was little and like all those different things.
Yeah.
But they had no idea, like in like the prime time of everything that happened in my life, they had no idea.
Yeah.
So then after the fact, it was like a shock factor to them. But they've always like been like the best people ever. Like I remember my papa would like, come and he would just like bring me a bag of like Cheetos or something.
Yeah.
Like every time he'd see me, or bring me like a Powerade to like attract me. And I'd just
Yeah.
be like, oh my gosh, like you're the best, all the different things. But
Yeah. I love that. I feel like that's such a common thing to like remember that about
Yes.
your grandparents. Like I remember my Nana, whenever I'd stay with her, would always give me a Sprite.
yes.
Like I love Sprite, but she had like the cute like mini cans, and I just like so vividly remember
yes,
her.
it like sticks with you.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
like the craziest thing.
Yeah. It's a very like shared thing that I
And
love.
it's like the sense of their house too. Like
Yeah.
I can like think of their house and I can't describe the smell,
Yeah.
but like I know what the smell is.
Yeah.
It's like the craziest thing.
Exactly. Whose parents are they? Your dad's parents?
Dad's parents.
Okay.
Yes.
When was your mom always in the picture, or
Not
what
so
is-
much.
Okay.
I grew up, obviously it was like, I want to say joint custody. So we would see her like every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then there just became a point where like we didn't see her. Don't
Yeah.
really know the full reasoning behind it. But then she just wasn't really in the picture. And then we tried to reconnect with her a couple of times, and just wasn't in the best interest of us at the time.
Yeah.
So then after that, we really haven't rekindled or reconnected or anything.
Yeah. Was that hard trying to like reconnect with her and maybe being met with?
Yes,
Not
it's
wanting
hard
that?
because there's so many working parts in it, and it's like so many different sides, so many different things where it's like I will never like judge someone based off of what I've heard about them. I will take everything at face value.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I could hear, crazy things, and I'm just like, I am going to like do this, like, and learn them and their heart, like on my own terms. Like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of like how I took it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just hard. It's just a tricky situation sometimes. But
Yeah. Did I read that you lived by yourself?
yes, I lived by myself for a short period of time. And
How
then
old were you?
I was in high school. So I
Okay.
was like, it was my sophomore, junior year-ish time frame.
How did that come to be?
I don't know. There was just a lot of working parts within our family where my brother, he was living with me and he made a decision for himself, and like I fully respect it. He was like, I'm going to try and like do something for myself and like do my thing, and it's not on him whatsoever. So
Yeah.
I feel like it was just like the timing of it just was what it was. And so
Yeah.
I ended up being on my own. My dad was with my stepmother at the time and their other children, and it was just me. And then my grandparents found out about it, and then that's when, everything started spinning and twirling, and then ended up just with them.
Yeah. Because I know you lived by yourself for a period of time. Did you not want to burden anyone? Did you not feel like you could go to anyone to say,
Yes.
hey, could I live with you? Like what were those emotions for you?
Yes, so I didn't feel like I could talk to anyone about it. I feel like it was like not like embarrassing, but like I don't know, like in your high school years, like it's always like people like comparing
For
themselves
sure.
and their lifestyles and everything, and I just like didn't want to be a burden to anyone. I don't really talk about like the hard things. Like I just will
Yeah.
bottle it in until I just erupt one day.
Yeah.
And it's like my worst toxic trait, but I'm like, it is true.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever that was happening, I couldn't talk to people about it. I couldn't bring it up, but I also like didn't know how to or what to do. But I had a counselor, and she was very aware of me and Wyatt's situation growing up. And I still remember her to this day. I'm like, I'm not going to say her name because I'm like, I don't know if she would want to be out there or not. But she was the kindest, sweetest soul ever. Like, still somewhat stay in contact with her every once in a while. Once in a blue moon, we'll message her. But she was very aware of our situation, was very supportive of it, and helped in so many different ways. And then other people that I did know growing up, I would go and like stay with them, or like I'd go to their house and like eat dinner and like,
Yeah.
be able to feel like I was living like a normal life and not so isolated. But also at the same time, I was fine being by myself.
Yeah.
Like I felt like it was like kind of like clarity for me in a sense, where it was like, I mean, I didn't have any rules. I didn't have any expectations. Like
Yeah.
I just did my own thing. But that's why I'm such a rule follower to this day, is because
Yeah.
I didn't have that, but I had the expectation on myself of like
Yeah.
all these different things. So I didn't I don't know, like didn't have to worry about certain things. Like I was always going to school, was always on time. Like, no, I didn't have food on the table ever. And like, how was I going to pay the bills and do all these different things?
Yeah.
So it was like difficult, but at the same time, like I was okay. Like I was going to make it. I was going to figure it out. Like I knew that something good was going to happen. I didn't know what. I didn't know how to explain it, but I was like, I know I'm going to be okay, which is weird.
Yeah. Wow. So then when your grandparents took you in, was that, I imagine there was a sense of relief with that.
I literally was just like huge weight lifted off my chest. And I was like, this is it. Like we're safe. We're good. We're like happy. Like, and this is like going to be the start of like your new life, basically. Like this is like where it all begins.
Yeah. Were they privy at all to, like, I can't imagine them learning that you were on your own and them being like, what, like just being stunned. Like, were they privy at all to anything that was going on in the home that made you and your brother leave?
No, so I feel like they didn't really know a lot of the things that were happening behind closed doors, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, all the things, it is like on social media, like everything seems as like a highlight reel and that sort of a thing. So like that's, I feel like the sense that they were getting.
Yeah.
So like they just had no idea. But then once they, found out, it was like, I don't know, like they just did everything in the correct ways and got like temporary custody of me so that I could be with them. And I would carry this paper around to school all the time where it said that they had temporary custody in case anything were to happen. Oh, wow. And I would like guard that paper with my life. I'm like, it was like on me 24/7, like did not go anywhere without it. And then once I was with them, I was like, we're good. And this is going to be amazing.
I love that. Technology was supposed to make our lives easier, so why does it feel like we now have less and less time? As more and more gets packed into our days, we have less time to think about what we're packing into our bodies. Thankfully, there's Tempo, my new go-to for fast and fresh meals. With Tempo, you can select from 20 plus mindful choices on their weekly menu, and all meals cook in just 3 minutes. Tempo is a weekly delivery service that delivers chef-crafted meals from a dietitian-approved menu fresh to your door. Tempo serves up feel-good single-serving meals that are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes, so you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience. With new recipes each week that are made with real ingredients and nutrient-rich, they make it easy to keep up a healthy lifestyle. Tempo's perfectly portioned lunches and dinners take the guesswork out of eating well, are fully prepared, and can be heated in the microwave in just 3 minutes. They also offer a variety of meals for different dietary and taste preferences, including protein-packed, calorie-conscious, carb-conscious, and fiber rich. I love Tempo meals because it truly is so hard to make sure we're fueling our bodies with good food when we're running around so busy. And it's so easy to want to go through this drive-through or just to snack on something that may not be the healthiest for you. But having Tempo in my house is truly a lifesaver. And for a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners today 60% off your first box. You can go to tempomeals.com/squeeze. That's tempomeals.com/squeeze for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/squeeze. Rules and restrictions may apply. If your brain is already at full capacity with to-dos, errands, birthdays, and the dinner plan for Tuesday, let Skylight Calendar handle the rest. It syncs your entire family schedule onto a sleek digital display so you can focus on more important things like remembering where you left your coffee. Skylight Calendar was designed to connect the digital and non-digital worlds while bringing families together. It's a Wi-Fi connected digital display that showcases your family schedule with clarity, color, and brilliance in either a 10 or 15-inch HD touchscreen. This all-in-one smart calendar syncs seamlessly with Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, Outlook, and more, giving you customizable views for daily, weekly, or monthly planning. You'll be able to manage events, chores, and grocery lists while assigning colors for each of your family members and eliminating excuses of not knowing what they needed to do. With the free Skylight Companion app, you can add or update events, list, and more on the go. You guys, this calendar is honestly the coolest thing. It looks so high-tech and sleek. I have mine up in my office, so when I'm walking by it, I can glance at it and I am just kind of reminded of what is going on throughout the week, so I'm not stressed about like, oh, when's this meeting? When is this lunch? When does Remy need to go to the vet? Whatever it may be, you guys need to check them out, and it honestly looks amazing on your counter. And right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/squeeze. Go to skylightcal.com/squeeze for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. Okay, Lemon Drops, I'm so excited to tell you about our next sponsor because they are the reason I have been looking so good this entire episode. It is Nuuly. They are a subscription clothing rental service, and for just $98 a month, you can get your choice of any 6 styles each month, access to thousands of styles from more than 400 brands like Free People, from Rio, Hill House, For Love 11s, Anthropologie, A Goldie. You get where I'm going with this. Inclusive sizing up to 5X, as well as petite and maternity, fast free shipping and returns, and professional cleaning and Nuuly state-of-the-art laundering facility. And you also have the option to buy what you love at a discount, which I think is so great, because what's so good about Nuuly is you don't have to break the bank and you're not having buyer's remorse when you buy something that's maybe trendy for a month or two and then it's out of style. That's why I love Nuuly, because I can try on new clothes, see if I like the clothes, and if I want to invest in them, I have the option to buy. This episode right now, I'm wearing, this is an Anthropologie sweater. It is the Enza ribbed cashmere sweater. And then I'm wearing A Goldie's, their low curve jeans. I absolutely love Nuuly. I have been loving wearing these clothes, and I really think you guys should check them out. I think what they're doing is amazing. There's also no fees. There's no late fees, no damage fees. No fees to pause, no fees to cancel. Nuuly's a great value at only $98 a month for any 6 styles, but right now you can get $28 off your first month of Nuuly when you sign up with code SQUEEZE. Just go to NUULY.com, that's Nuuly with 2 U's, and enter the code SQUEEZE and sign up to get $28 off your first month. That's NUULY.com, Nuuly with 2 U's, with code SQUEEZE. Nuuly subscription clothing rental. Change your clothes. Something Taylor and I are big on are scents. We love having like a certain scent, a certain smell that it just really reminds us of something. We had our own wedding scent at our wedding that when we light, it makes us think back to our wedding. And so we are all for loving a scent. And like the icons that you love, you want an unforgettable signature, and nothing sticks out in our memory like a show-stopping scent. Complete your shower routine with amazing smelling, richly lathering body wash from Harry's. Harry's body wash is truly one of the best, because not only does it feel nice on your body, it lathers well, the consistency is just nice, like you can tell this is nice body wash, but also the scents are truly just so good. Some of my favorites are the spring, which are notes of a lemon and basil. There's also fig, which are notes of cedar and orange, and also wildlands with notes of sandalwood and cypress. Something that I love about Harry's is that these scents are made by a family-owned luxury French fragrance house. Not only does it smell amazing, but it's also thick, sudsy, lathery, and foamy with no parabens, sulfates, or dyes. Harry's also offers deodorant, antiperspirants, and a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, so you can uncover your signature scent in every step of your routine. Be your own icon, shower with Harry's. Try Harry's body wash today for just $8 at harrys.com/squeeze. That's harrys.com/squeeze for a sniff of this incredible body wash. What have you been, or what was your last contact with your parents?
Honestly, I cannot even give you a time, date, like what was happened, what was said. I feel like the hard part is like I kind of like block out parts, because I'm like, it's just easier for me to not have to deal with it, if that makes sense. So I feel like I could not tell you like the last conversation that I had the last time I saw them, what the last thing was said, but I'm also like, I'm okay with that. Yeah. And it's like my way of like coping with it, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's definitely a very common trauma response, but it seems like it's almost working to your advantage. Sometimes it's not healthy, and maybe there's some unhealthy things under there, but 100%. I feel like that's a very common thing when I sit down with people and they're like, I actually don't remember parts of my life, because I feel like I'm the same way. My husband's the same way. He's like, I blocked out like 4 years of my life. I literally can't.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, it's weird, because it's like easier to like cope with it, I feel like, which is odd to say, because it's like, I don't know, like obviously like childhood, like there's parts of it where I'm like, oh yeah, this seemed like it was good, and you know, certain things and whatever, but I'm like, I could not fully explain all the details. Yeah. But also I was so young where it's like, I don't know a lot of the things that did happen, or like, you know, situations, or like, you know, what the adults were talking about versus like me as a kid seeing it from my perspective. So it's like difficult to try to like piece everything together, where it's like, in a sense to me, I'm like, I've moved past it, where it's like, I don't need to go back and like put all these puzzle pieces together and figure it out, and like the reasonings and all things. I'm like, it just is what it is, and it's happened, so I can't change anything. So you just move on from it.
Yeah. Good for you for that. You touched on it a little, but I'm curious how your upbringing, how you see it coming out and affecting like your relationships with people?
Yes. So I feel like, I don't know, I've learned a lot from what I went through. So I feel like by going through what I did, I just respect, relationships more. Like the relationship I have with my grandparents, like every relationship I have now is so intentional. And like, I just will give 1,000,000% to anyone that's around me. Like, regardless if it feels like it's hurting me or making me feel like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm this, I will still, no matter what, give 1,000,000% to everyone else around me. So it's like the positive that came from it. But then there's sometimes where I'm like, I can't say no to people. Yeah. Like I cannot say no whatsoever, no matter what the situation is. So that's like my downfall of it, is I always just have to say yes to situations.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm curious, what does like healing look like for you now? Like, what do you feel like? I mean, obviously that whole upbringing is a big thing to overcome, but I'm curious, taking a look inward at yourself, maybe like what you're most proud of for healing, or what's been like the biggest thing you feel like you've had to overcome.
I don't know. I just feel like learning through it and like taking it and not using it as a negative and being like, oh, like poor me, like this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me, and using it as like an excuse, like flipping it more into a positive. Like I always see things as the positive in life.
Yeah.
But I feel like by taking things that I went through and learning and growing from them and applying them into like, how I want to parent one day, or how I want to, raise a family, like all these different things. And like, even like having relationships with people, I'm like, the fact that I've learned and grown from it has helped me like overcome what it was. Like instead of like sitting there and dwelling on it, I just take it and like flip it into a positive and like apply the good parts of what I've learned from it into real life.
That's so good. Do you want kids?
Yes, not yet. Yeah. But I do want kids.
Yeah. Is there something that you're looking forward to with kids, or maybe like a way you want to parent them, or something you don't want to do, something you do? I mean, I'm sure you can list things you don't want to do, but something that you're like, oh, when I'm a parent, I definitely like want to make sure I do this.
Yes, I just want to be very like supportive. Like I don't want to be like, overbearing mom, like all, over the top type of a person. But I want them to know like they can come and talk to me about anything. Like I'm their biggest support system. Like even if they think I'll be mad about a situation, like I'd rather you come tell me. And like, I want to be that person for you where you feel like you're in a safe space and you can say anything to. And that's like going to be my main goal, like when I do become a parent. But also I'm just excited to have like a mini, like me and Stone, like running around. Like that's just the craziest thought. It's going to be either like, 5 foot or like, 7 foot. So got a huge height difference. But
that's funny.
Just having like someone that's like, you and your partner is like the craziest concept to me, where I'm like so excited for it.
I know. I feel like we're finally at that age where like that's like happening, like that will happen soon, and it's like a crazy concept to like think.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a mom, but now that it's like actually
like the time is coming,
like here,
it's
basically.
Like, you're like, I feel that.
Yeah. I'm like, am
I ready? Am I not ready?
I know.
But I'm like, you can never fully be prepared for a child.
For sure. When did you start cheering?
So I started when I was super young, but it was a smaller program. Was not the same competitiveness that there was at like Navarro College.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit when I was younger, and then when I moved to Wyoming, they didn't really have cheer there.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of like self-taught skills, and like, I could just throw a backflip in the grass just for fun.
Yeah.
And do cartwheels and stuff during like, other sports. Like during track, I'm like doing cartwheels and backflips when I should be running.
Yeah.
So I just like always had that like drive into me to be a cheerleader, and I was like, I just love it. Like I love flipping my body. It's like a cool like party trick, all the things.
Yeah.
But then like took a huge break, obviously. And then in college, I was like, I want to be a cheerleader. Like I want to be a cheerleader in college. So I actually went to University of Wyoming my first year.
Wait, I'm sorry. You didn't, I'm shocked right now. You haven't been doing this your entire life?
No.
What?
Yeah, I did it when I was young for a little bit, and then took a break from it for a few years, and then I ran cross country and track and played basketball. Yeah. But I still like flipped on the side.
What
like my
species
technique
are you?
My technique
That's
is awful.
crazy.
It's
Okay,
like
sorry.
self-taught. It's like ghetto cheer, but I still did it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry. Keep going. You did cheer at Wyoming.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there weren't any like cheer programs like in Wyoming.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there was like gymnastics gyms, but they were also like hours and hours away from us. And then the closest cheer like place that I could do competitive cheer at was in Denver, Colorado, and I wanted to go there so bad, but it was so expensive we couldn't afford it. So and it didn't make sense to drive, 7 hours to go to cheer practice. Like that's just not realistic. So I just didn't do any sort of cheer. And then in college, I was like, I want to be a cheerleader. Like I'm going to go to University of Wyoming. I'm going to try out for the cheer team, tried out for the cheer team, made it. And it was more like game day cheer. It wasn't the competitiveness that I had like the drive for.
Yeah.
So I went for my first semester and then ended up leaving after that.
Got it.
And then I told my grandparents, I was like, I still want to cheer. I still want to cheer. I still want to cheer. And like, if you're going to go somewhere like that's cheering, like you need to go somewhere where they, know what they're doing and like, all the things. So I was like, okay. So I Googled best places to cheer in the United States of America. Navarro College pops up. I watch a video and I was like, I'm going there. So I go on their website. I'm like looking up their Instagram.
I'm so
like,
shocked by this story
doing
right now.
all the details, trying to figure out like where it's at, like all the information. I'm like, okay, it's a junior college, like all these different things. Cause I'm like, I'm still like technically first year of college. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I can, go in and like it'll be cheaper for me. Like I can still do financial aid, like all the things. And they had a tryout or a clinic that was coming up. So I go to my grandparents and I'm like, hey, so there is this college that I really want to go to. It's called Navarro College. It's in Texas. Shocker. And they're like, you're going to Texas? And I was like, well, it's like go like to this clinic, just like test it out and like see, everyone else is a better cheerleader to me, but I'm going to test it out anyways. So I begged them. My papa ends up driving me down to Texas from Wyoming. And we go to this clinic and I am terrible. I'm awful. I can't do any skills compared to all the other people that were there. They all cheered at like cheer athletics and had been doing competitive cheer since they were like 6.
Yeah.
Like every single year, like the highest level that you can compete at their age division. And I was so intimidated. I was like, I suck. I'm awful. Like all these different things. Like I'm like still trying to like learn how to do stunts there. And like, I'm having like the best time at the same time though. I'm like, this is so cool. Like I watched you guys on videos. Like you guys are iconic. Like this is crazy. And so then they were like, oh yeah, like come, we have a tryout at this date, whatever. So then I come back for the tryout and I'm like talking to Monica at the end of it. Yeah. My tryout was awful. I didn't fall in my tryout, but I just literally did the most basic skill. I did like a toss target or like a full up and then like an arabesque that was like so ratchet and then try to do a double down and it was just ankles like crossed, just literally awful. If I were to watch that back now, I would probably like laugh, cry at myself.
Yeah.
And it was just an awful tryout. And I like never wore my cheer shoes outside. It was like a weird thing I did for the longest time. I was like, they're inside shoes. Like they stay in pristine condition, all the things. I walked out of the tryout and my grandma was with me. We had flown down for the tryout. And I walked out with my cheer shoes on and she was like, oh no, this is not good. Like she probably didn't make it. Like something happened. And I was like, I didn't make the team because I was so intimidated by all the people that were there because they were so phenomenal. And I'm like watching them do like all these crazy transitions and all these crazy stunts that I had never done ever in my life. So I was like, yeah, I'm not making the team. So I go back home and there was like a couple months before we got like, the letter in your email saying that you made it or you didn't make it. So at this point, I still am waiting around, still not hearing anything. So I made plans to go to a different college. And I was like, doing all the paperwork to get like accepted into the school because I was like, I don't think I'm going to make Navarro. Like there's no way. One day, get an email I didn't get an email. I had messaged Monica on email and I was like, hey, I just didn't get an email. Like, it's either a yes or a no. Like I didn't get either. So I was like, oh, like I just want to know if it's a no so I can make my other plans. And she was like, oh my gosh, well, actually we forgot to send it to you. Like you're on the team. Like we have camp in like a month. And I'm like, I made Navarro. Like I didn't get like the official email where it's like, you are a Navarro College cheerleader for this season or whatever. I didn't get that email. I just got, oh my gosh, yeah, like we actually did select you. You're on the team. You're on the list. Like we have camp in a month. So I'm like, oh my God, my life is crazy. Like this is not real. So then I'm like going shopping to get like sports bras that are red and like spandex that are red, like trying to like be like this girl. I'm like, oh my gosh, iconic. So then I go to the camp and then end up starting school in Navarro. And then that's how they started filming cheer. They just came to film like the proof of concept. And then from that point on, I just was at Navarro, learned millions and millions of skills. Can't even comprehend how I gained the skills that I did so quick. Yeah. I just like didn't have the fear of like trying anything. I was like, let's just flip our body and see how this goes.
Yeah. That's like, you really had no fear because that is insane I don't know. I can't remember if you said that, but knowing the skills that you can do, like, and hearing this whole story, my mind is like
nowadays can't really do that much. But like I'm retired, my body hurts. Yeah. But I could probably still do a backflip if I like Matt talked myself enough to.
Yeah, I think you could. I think you could. What was it like when the docuseries came out? And I'm sure there was like a big influx of.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I that was actually not like a very bad low for me, but I was not taking care of myself whatsoever. My mental health was plummeting, which was so crazy because it was such like a highlight in my life.
Yeah.
But there's no like textbook on how to like adapt to being in the public eye.
Yeah.
You don't get, a book handed to you and it's like, hey, this is how to deal with it. And like, I did not have a manual.
Yeah.
So I just basically got thrown to the sharks and I'm like trying to figure it out. Like I'm getting all these like followers and like I'm flying to LA and I'm flying to New York and I'm still going to school at Navarro and Texas A&M at the exact same time. So I'm doing double school. I'm doing all these interviews, still have cheer practice. I'm like, how do I manage all these different working parts?
Yeah.
So it was like overload, like was not like eating meals during the day because I just didn't have the time. So I literally drank like 5 energy drinks during a single day just so I could be prepped and ready for like an interview or have enough energy to flip my body at practice or like stay up to like finish homework assignments. Like it was psychotic. So it was a very huge adjustment.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like one of those things where you just like learn and like adapt and like then it's good.
Yeah. What was your relationship with social media during that time? Because I imagine having all of that noise coming to you from social media.
It was insane. I cried so much. I basically never cry. I'm like, I feel like me crying is like showing too much emotion for myself. I just will bottle it. I'm like, I save it for my pillow.
Yeah.
But I cried every single day, I feel like, because I would get messages of people saying that they were in similar situations as me or that they have related to me or knew someone and like all these different things. And like, I would just break down crying at like the stories that I was hearing and like people being like, I've really connected to your story. Like it's really like resonated with me or it's helping me get through the situation I'm in now. Or I'm just like sobbing my eyes out. I'm like, I can't explain like the feelings that I had because I'm like, I feel like I'm helping people. And I was like, I didn't know that would have that effect. Like I didn't know that like sharing my story and being so vulnerable was going to help people where I was just like a complete mess. Like could not process like emotions, thoughts. Like it was just like so wild. So it was like a healthy relationship with it at that point.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're seeing all these people and like how you're like helping them and like, how your life is like making a difference in other people's. I was like, this is insane. But also it's cool because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting like likes and followers and like people are like, you're pretty, like you're getting like all these like nice comments. And then, a few years later you get like the mean comments like, oh, you're wearing a baggy sweatshirt because you're gaining weight and like all this stuff where I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So don't have like any negativity towards social media anymore.
Yeah.
But it was like a difficult adjustment from going to literally nothing to having 1 million followers in like 3 days. It was like night and day difference.
Jeez. That's so sweet that you got to have like that tender moment with all those messages.
Yeah, it's insane. I have screenshots of all of them, like literally still saved in my camera roll from like all those times.
That's so smart. I feel like we talk about so much, which I think we should, like having boundaries, social media, and the harm it can cause. Because I do think there is detriment to it because our brains aren't supposed to have that much going to it all the time. But on the other end, like with this podcast, like the amount of people that will come up to me and be like, tell me that this podcast saved their life. And like, it's just mind blowing to me. Like I have chills saying it. It's so cool that, us sitting here today, like this is going to help someone. Like and all we're doing is we're just talking. Like we're just sharing our life. And,
that's the crazy part though, is like, I don't know, like it's hard because some people, like for social media, for example, a lot of people see it as like the highlight reels of people's lives. Yeah. Which that's what it is. Like, I'm not going to post a picture that I don't think I look good in. Yeah. I'm going to post a picture. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm eating. Like that's fierce. I love that. So I'm going to post all this stuff and people are going to see it, but they're going to see the highlights. They're not going to see me, cleaning out my cat's litter box. They're not going to see me doing like certain things where it's like the highlight reel. So that's where people start comparing themselves to others. And like, that's where the toxic part of social media comes into play, which is like so different, but having like stuff where it's like real and raw and like just showing like the different sides of you. I'm like, now I post pictures and I don't even edit a single photo. Yeah. Like there'll be pictures where someone will post a picture and it's like full edited and then my version's unedited. Yeah. Cause I'm like, it's just real and raw. Like, when I look down in the road, like at some of the pictures, I'm like, that filter was so bad. I'm like, why did I do that? And I'm like, I whitened my teeth so much. That's insane.
Literally, I had to like archive some of the photos on my Instagram from a while ago. So I'm like, what even was I thinking with this filter? Like, why did I thought I was
eating, but it was just a trend.
At the time we were eating. Now, maybe not so much.
I take it back.
Were you scared at all sharing about your personal life?
Terrified.
Okay.
I was so scared. And like, I remember having conversations with Greg about it. And like, at first, when he first started talking to me, like, we didn't know I was going to be like a main character. I didn't really have like that thought until like it got very close to Cheer airing, because then they would like go home with people and film at their hometowns. And I was like having these conversations, all these interviews with them, and they would ask me all these questions and I would just like dodge it, they'd be like, so like, tell us about this. And I'd just be like, yeah, cheer practice today was really hard. And, I'm like avoiding it. And so then I had a heart to heart with Greg and was just like explaining to him like my story.
Yeah.
And he was like, just go in there and just say the same thing you said to me. And I'm like, I just feel like I'm going to be judged. Like, I feel like it's a part of me that like I've hidden for so long. And like people like me on this cheer team. Like people are, I have friends now. Like I have like a good life where I don't want to like bring that up and make people think of me differently. I was terrified of what other people were going to think. And then, flip side of it, it's like people didn't think that. It was like the complete opposite, where I was like, I hid it forever. Like, I was so embarrassed by it. Like, didn't want to share it, didn't want anyone to know about it. And now it's like the world knows, but it's like helping others, where I was like, I would have never in a million years would have thought sharing my story would have done that. But I was terrified. Terrified.
That's so special, because that's clearly something like even when you were in high school, like going through it, you didn't want people to know like of your home situation. And that's really awesome that, well, it's not awesome that it carried with you, but that carried with you, and then you got to share your story and how the response has been to that. Do you feel like you've like overcome that feeling of wanting to hide that?
Yes. I feel like at first I obviously was so scared, but now it's like seeing how you can relate to people and like can help them get through tough situations or like be a light in their life. I'm like, let's go for it. Like, I'll give you all the tea. I'll give you, whatever you want to know. Like, because it just like helps people. And that's the thing, is like, you want, like, I love like watching people on social media that I can relate to, or like that give like the real and the raw, because it's like, that's just, that's life. That's normal life. Like, yes, I like seeing, all these like highlights of like these fashion posts and everything, but I'm also like the girls that are just sitting in a t-shirt that's just like, just making coffee and just talking about this crazy thing that happened at the DMV. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it.
I know. That's why I love TikTok so much, because I feel like it's really like not normalized. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I will post TikToks, like nothing on my face in the back, like looking like Adam Sandler.
Literally just post to post.
Yeah, literally.
Where it's like you don't have to think about it. You just do it.
Yeah, you could totally just be yourself. And I feel like TikTok really brings out the, a day in the life, or like get ready with me, and it's people like you said, like cleaning the litter box. Like people will show themselves doing that. I feel like it's really
makes it so much more relatable.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like, this is like real life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love it. Okay, let's talk about battle camp, because I want to talk about it. Period. We're like a sucker for like any form of game competition, reality show. But we were excited with this one because we knew, but a lot of the cast we liked. And so we were like, oh, this is like, what is this going to be about? Yeah. This is interesting. When you were first talked to about this, what was your initial reaction?
I was excited. I was so stoked because my husband and I are the same way. Like, we love watching like Squid Games and like The Circle and like all these competition shows. And we always like joke about it. Like, if someone like drops a, puzzle piece or something on Survivor, we're like, how did you do that? We're like so intense with it. We're like, there's no way. So seeing it and like getting an opportunity to do it, I was like, oh, let's go. It's game time. Like, this is going to be iconic. Yeah. So I was so stoked for it.
Oh my gosh. What was your favorite part and what was your least favorite part? I have a feeling I know what the least favorite part is, but I'll let you share.
Least favorite part was eating the bugs. Obviously, that's disgusting. My favorite part was actually like getting to meet the cast, because it was so different, because some of the people that were on the cast, their shows hadn't come out yet. So QT and Kyle from The Circle, their season of The Circle hadn't come out yet.
Oh, wow.
And same with Bree that was on Too Hot to Handle. So like, it was like interesting going in, and like I didn't know these people and like didn't know them from their show. So it was harder for like strategic gameplay, because I was like, I can't reference how you played on your show or like how you were portrayed on it. But it was like nice to get to know them for like who they were, and then like also watch them like have their show come out and like just be a part of it. Like, it felt like behind the scenes. So that was like one of my favorite parts, was like connecting with the cast members, and like, I'd watch some of them like on shows and stuff, but like to like be living all with each other for like, weeks and stuff. It was insane.
Yeah. So. Was there someone there that you had watched that you were like surprised to see or excited to see?
Yes. So I was excited to see Gio and Polly from Selling the OC, because I love watching it. And Selling Sunset I'm obsessed with. So I was really excited to see them and like be able to meet them. Trey, I remembered from Squid Games because him and his mom and like all the things. And then also I remembered Lorenzo because I was like, he's the one that stole the food. Like I remember that. So I was like, recognized them, like knew where they were from. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. I get to meet you guys. Like also like I want to know all the behind the scenes of Squid Games, like how it operated. Like I want all the tea. So it was nice to meet them. Georgia had seen on her shows and same with Chase.
Yeah.
So it was like nice to see them because I'm like, you guys pop up on my screens all the time. And we've been in the same place at the same time, but we've never like crossed paths.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's so cool to like actually like be doing something together.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that. But yeah, I mean the whole cast, like everyone, like I was so excited to meet Shuby. I was like, oh my God, I love you already. Like I already know we're gonna be best friends. So like let's kiki it up.
Yeah.
And that's just what happened. We became best friends.
I love that. Who's like the closest are you still like close with from the show?
I would say I'm closest with Shuby, QT, Kyle, and Nick. Those are like the people I'm closest from.
Fun fact, QT, I call her Corey because we danced together in college.
Shut up.
So we both did a dance. I went to school originally for dance, and then I switched to nursing. But we were in the same dance program in Long Beach, and so we've like been Instagram friends because we were in the same program, and we've just been like friendly. And then all of a sudden, she like started posting. She was on the circle. I was like, wait, what? And then when the show came out, I was like, wait, you're on
like,
my TV.
Crazy.
Like this is so funny.
No, she's a sweetheart. I love her.
She's awesome. I mean, we've kept in touch obviously over social media, but I haven't seen her in years. But it's so fun.
I was with her yesterday, the day before.
Yeah, so. It's so fun. Like it's like such a random thing, but it's really cool. Like getting to see her like shine on there and.
That is insane.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's so random. I'm curious what's next for you? What are you excited about? Is there something you want to do? Or are you just excited to like go home and be married? And
I'm excited to go see my husband and cuddle with my cats, obviously. But I'm just excited to like see like where life takes me because I feel like I don't have like a set plan of like what I want to do. I just love like dabbling in all these different things and like just experiencing like the different things that this career, has.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm excited to see like what there is in the future.
Yeah.
But it's like there's not like one specific thing that I'm like fully looking forward to. Besides, eventually having kids.
Yeah.
But career-wise, I'm just excited to see like what the future holds and, just go with the flow.
Yeah. I love that for you. Well, great. Okay. I have a last little segment for us. It's 7 questions. You can rapid fire them. You can go into a monologue if you feel like your heart wants to do that. It's called Lemon 7. So 7 questions. The first one is, what movie or song title best describes your mental health today?
I would say This Is the Life by Miley Cyrus / Hannah Montana.
That's
because
so
I'm like,
good.
this is the life. Like that's right now. We're like living it.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, love.
You are living the life. I love that. Number 2 is, how open are you with people in your life when struggling?
Not very open at all. I'm very closed, but I have a very, very, very small group of people that I can barely even fit on one hand.
Yeah.
That I feel very comfortable telling anything to. But outside of that, I will not share much with anyone else that's not in like that very, very close-knit circle.
Yeah. Number 3 is, if you could follow 3 social media accounts, only follow 3 social media accounts, what would they be?
Okay, so I thought of this one.
Yeah.
So I would say Kylie Mae.
Yes.
Love her.
I love her content.
Love her. She's the cutest thing ever. And Christy Howard. And the reason why I'd follow both of them is because they're just real and raw with their social media. Like they post struggles, they post, no makeup, like all the different things where they're so relatable.
Yeah.
But like their character and like their personalities, like, and they're just like so funny where I'm like, I am obsessed and I'm in love with you guys. And I don't know, I just feel like they're so relatable. Like even like, Kaylee talking about like how she had a miscarriage and like all these like hard things where it's like, she's so open with it where it's like, I feel like I can relate with like how I was with Cheer where I just like admire her for it.
Yeah.
And like same with Christy, she's just like the sweetest person ever. Like, like I know that like if I met them, like I'd be best friends with them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, would follow them hands down. And then the last one I would follow would be Starbucks because I feel like I have to know like what the new drinks are.
Yeah.
Like I just have to know. Yeah. So those would be the 3 people I'd follow.
Well, you came, what is your drink that you have here?
It is an iced vanilla chai made with breve. It is my iconic, we call it the Morgan.
Oh my gosh. I need to try that. I haven't had a chai in like so long.
It's Christmas in a cup. Like I am obsessed with it.
Is it like really sweet? Do you like, would you drink like a plain coffee?
Yeah, I would. But I also love
That's so
sugar.
shocking.
I love sugar. I wouldn't drink black coffee, but I got into it because I learned more about like how Starbucks like roasts their coffee and like where it comes from and like the different notes of it. And like I gained appreciation for black coffee. But before I would not drink black coffee. I would have more creamer than I would have coffee.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I could actually sit there and drink, you know, just plain coffee and be completely fine.
I love that for you. I love your Starbucks content. That's really cute. That's really cute. Okay, number 4 is, what is your favorite form of self-care?
Sounds weird, but hibernating is what I call it.
Okay.
So literally I just shut down.
Yeah.
No phones, no TVs, no like going out, doing anything. Like I literally am just in bed and I'm doing arts and crafts or something. And it's just like a detox, if that makes sense. And also a good bubble bath. I love me a good bubble bath.
Oh my gosh, I need to hibernate. I love that. Some days I'm like, I'll tell my husband, I'm like, I'm working from bed today.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'm like, you just
I'm
have
not
to.
getting out of bed.
Like you just need it.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know, it's just like a full factory reset. Because sometimes I'm like, I have too many tabs open.
Yeah.
We just need to full factory reset this and just try again.
That's so good.
So that's my best way of doing it.
Hibernating.
Haven't figured out another way that's more successful than that.
Yeah.
So
No,
we're
that's
just
great.
sticking with it.
Yeah, we'll stick with that. Number 5 is, what is the most misunderstood thing about you?
That I'm actually 27. Everyone thinks that I'm like 15, 16, 17 years old. I'm like, guys, I'm 27.
I know.
And I don't still cheer. That's the other thing. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, you still cheer? I'm like, that was like 5 years ago.
Did you look, because I feel like I've been seeing people post on social media, like now they're 30, but people think they're like a teenager, and when they were a teenager,
yes,
people think they were older.
I'm gonna look the same from the point where I was 12 years old until I'm like 65.
Yeah, you're gonna
like,
have your
gonna
kids,
be no
and people are gonna think you're like babysitting them.
They're gonna be like, oh, like is this your sister? And I'm like, nope, I gave birth to this one.
Hey, that'll be good. That'll be good for you.
Yeah,
And
they say it pays off later in life. They're like, oh, that's. I'm like, I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for it.
You're patiently waiting. Number 6 is, who has had the most positive impact on your mental health?
I would say my grandparents for sure. And also my husband. Like, it's like different parts of my life. They played different roles, but even my grandparents still play a role today.
Yeah.
But those are like the 3 people where I'm like, hands down, this is like fully changed my life for the better.
Yeah. Number 7 is, if you can go back to one moment in your life, what moment would that be, and what would you say to yourself?
1,000,000%. I'd go back to when I was younger, when I was going through all my hard times, and I would tell myself, like, it's going to be good. It's going to be okay. Like, you're going to get through this. Like, you know, you're going to find people that are going to surround you, that are going to love you, that are going to care for you and support you. And you're also going to tell your story one day, and it's going to like impact and inspire others.
I think she would have loved to hear that.
I think she would have been like, you're a psycho. Like, I have no idea who you are.
She's like, no, I'm actually not.
She's like, no, I'm actually never going to talk about it.
We're not doing that. And we're also not cheering. We don't cheer. We're
going to run track instead.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming and chatting. This is so fun. I love getting to learn more about you, more than I have from watching you on TV. But I'm excited to film some TikToks because you had some good ideas.
I'm excited. You're the sweetest. Thanks for having me.
Of course.